What caused me to lose my faith? But before we begin, see that little guy up in the corner there? His name is Clarence, and he has a new show coming to Cartoon Network.
The burgers here are good, the chicken nuggets good, the fries are good, and the soda pop is really good.
I only like the fries here.
What? You don't like the burgers?
No.
What about the nuggets?
Nope.
Not even the burgers?
No.
What about the fun dungeon?
I watched the first episode and it reminds me a lot of the old classic Cartoon Network show Ed, Edd and Eddy. You should definitely check it out. Just click anywhere on Clarence's face in the corner of the screen right here to check out the preview here on YouTube, and don't forget to watch new episodes of Clarence at 7 p.m/6 Central on Cartoon Network. This is a common question that a lot of people ask me is, Daniel, what caused you to lose your faith in Christianity? Because we know that you grew up in a religious household, that currently right now you are the only person in your all family, extended family, mom's side and father's side, who is not a Christian, who does not believe in God, who does not believe in the resurrection, who doesn't go to church every single Sunday, who does not worship the Judeo-Christian faith and believe that the Bible is an inerrant word of God. I'm the only person in my family who's not a Christian, and it's a bit troubling. I still feel as if there's a lot of pressure on my shoulders at times to, try to get back into Christianity simply because that's what I grew up in. One of the things a lot of people need to realize is, based upon where you grow up, the place in the world that you grow up is probably the religion that you're going to be grown up in and believe in. And that's one of the biggest things I have with religion, is that it doesn't give you the ability to choose what you actually believe. Instead, you grow up thinking that this is the only way and the only true way, which is your religion. People who grow up in Islam, they're associated with the religion of Islam. People who grow up in Christian are Christians. People who grow up in Mormonism are Mormons. That's just how it works, and doesn't give children the ability to choose or think for themselves. And it just so happened that I went through a lot of shit growing up. But to get back to my first question is, what caused me to lose my faith? And I have two answers to this. The first answer is, Christians caused me to lose my faith. It is the constant legalization of the church that I grew up in. A church where I was constantly bullied. I know, right? A church you think is a place of love and acceptance. Well, that's my definition of a church. I think a church, a true Christian church by my definition, is a church that accepts people no matter how broken they are. Whether they're gay, a transsexual, I don't care. A church should accept people for who they are and love them and show them love and respect. Doesn't matter what they've been through or what they've done. It's showing that unconditional love and care, no matter what their sexuality is, or race, or whatever it be. And many churches don't follow this. I grew up in a legalistic church that had rules to an extent of where a woman's thigh was considered sin. Seeing a woman's above her kneecap, if skin was showing above her knee, that was considered sin. No joke, and it still amazes to me to this day how I grew up in a church like that with such legalistic rules and such hurtful people. And I admit this, one of the reasons I lost my faith was because of Christians, because of how hurt I was constantly belittled, mocked, ridiculed for being the person that I was trying to be, because, well, I went through and, believe it or not, emo stage. I had a bowl cut, I even wore eyeliner, I had black nail polish. I went through a rebellious stage in my life where I dressed very dark, even to an extent gothic. I have photos that I'm not going to share because it's very embarrassing, back when I was 14, 15, but it was bad. And I was heavily bullied in the church. The church is a place of love, not this one. And part of the reasons why I left my faith was because of the church and the people surrounding it. Now, that necessarily may not be a good reason, because I didn't leave for reasons of rationality. Rather, I left for reasons of people not being what they claim to be, and that is Christians who are loving, gentle, compassionate, and all that other stuff. So the first reason as to why I lost my faith in Christianity was the church and the people who hurt me. And there's, as of right now in my life, I hold no anger towards them. I see that old church that I attended, and I see people who are broken, who have no lives, who don't know what real love is, who don't know what respect is, who don't know how to live a life of freedom without a rule book jurisdicting everything they do, and that's the Bible, in terms of legalism. So I feel sorry for them, I really do, the people at my old church. My second reason for losing my faith in Christianity has to do with theology, biblical hermeneutics, accurate scriptural interpretation. I was taught that the Bible is flawless, there's no imperfections, there's no contradictions, and, I'm not going to go into the whole spiel of trying to refute the Bible because it's been refuted. There's been shown so many contradictions, and I'm actually working right now on a video titled The Top 10 Loving Bible Stories. The irony of this title is they're not loving stories in the Bible, they're stories of where God kills innocent people and commands people to take innocent lives and stuff like that. So be looking forward to that. But I lost my faith through the theological reasons because the Bible, the Judeo-Christian God, is presented as this loving, compassionate, omnipotent, omnipresent, omnibenevolent, all of these attributes. And I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, but God is not those things. He's not those things. The God of the Bible is not those things that Christians try to paint towards you, that God is all of these loving things. But if you study the Bible accurately, biblical hermeneutics, you will find that the God of the Bible is not what Christians try to paint him out to be, but is any God. And it really boils down to one of the most famous questions within Christianity, and the hardest questions that Christianity can't seem to answer for me, or anyone for that matter, is the question of evil. You have a God who is all of these things. He's all-knowing. He knows things in the advance in the future, right? And yet, he created the world, he created Adam and Eve, knowing prior that they were already going to decide to sin. He granted them free choice, but he knew, because he's God, that they were going to choose from the tree of the good knowledge of good and evil. He knew that he can see into the future. He knows all things. If these qualities, these theological qualities that God has, the nature of God, are true, then the concept of free will doesn't even make sense to me, because he's granting someone free will, but he already knows prior what they're going to choose. So doesn't that violate the concept of free will? Because he knows prior what they're going to choose, he predestined what they were going to choose. It's confusing to me. Even now, even trying to explain it in a video is confusing. But the problem of evil and how the fall happened, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how a God so powerful can let these types of events happen, knowing that they're already going to occur. If that makes any sense. I probably confused you just as much as I'm confused right now. It's a really hard subject. And the problem of evil is something that I've been wanting to try to explore here on my channel, especially free will and determinism. But there's such hard subjects that I don't even know where to begin on talking about the subjects as a whole. I mean, I can read books about them, but they're hard subjects, even more than I think philosophy, and I suck at philosophy, as you well know. But in any case, those are the two reasons why I lost my faith, is due to the problem of evil, the fall not making sense, and the character of God not aligning with what I was presented with constantly growing up when I started to study the Bible. And that of the people of the church who hurt me, who damaged me, who nearly got me to the point of wanting me to take my life because I felt such guilt for straying away from my Christian values. And that wasn't right. I almost killed myself due to religion. How shameful would that have been, taking my life due to religion? Religion takes lives, believe it or not. More people are hurt by religion than I think any other ideology out there. That's just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree. But I just wanted to respond to you guys who have asked me, why did I lose my faith? And those are the two core fundamental reasons as to why I, Daniel Sulzbach, Mr. Repzion, lost my faith. Christians and the problem of evil. Thank you guys for watching.